Well, hello, boys and girls. It's when I feel like 8 o'clock, and I was checking out some Riding the Pine there today. They were doing basically who were the top 5 picks. If you haven't seen it, it's 3 guys. Go check it out. They're pretty funny dudes, pretty entertaining, and they come up with concepts, and then the 3 of them say what they believe their concept is going to be for whatever they're talking about at the time. This time it was who were the top 5, who were their top 5 picks at the draft. Jaime's body loop, it's the best there. I said it. Okay, so make sure you're well lubed, boys and girls, before we get started. I'll wait. I had some issue with a few of their decisions and some of the things they said. You can watch it. Go to my NHL, or always go to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom, of course, but go to Riding the Pine mock draft or top 5 draft picks. I think that's what it is. Check it out and think of it while I'm speaking here. So I went up to another site, mynhldraft.com. Which is basically, I think, the NHL network type thingamajigger. The latest prospect rankings they have from Bob McKenzie, Cam Robinson, Dauber prospects, Steve Cornianos, and NHL Central Scouting. There's a few other ones, but those are the most recent ones. Bob McKenzie has Evan Bouchard ahead of Adam Boqvist. And there's a few that are saying that is actually, there's quite a few people that are putting Evan Bouchard for good reason. He's a big point producer, slick player. Like his point production is, he's over a point a game in junior. And for his age, that is fantastic. He's probably going to be a player. Adam Boqvist, on the other hand, is more of a complete player. I don't know. It's in between. Adam Boqvist is like, it depends on what you like. Adam Boqvist would be, off the top of my head, like, maybe an Ekblad, something like that. With Evan Bouchard, you're looking at a slicker, more offensive player. Doesn't play bad D, but he's got some work in that area. Maybe a Fowler, maybe with more actual offensive upside than even Fowler. So, anyways, here we go. Everybody put Rasmus Dahlin. By the way, Steve Cornianos actually put Andrei Svechnikov ahead of Rasmus Dahlin. That's the only person I've seen do that. What they were talking about is, one fellow in particular, I don't know their names, said that Carolina would take Zadina because he played together with Aho. And I would agree if Svechnikov wasn't as much of a bomb as he was. Like he got 40 before he got hurt. He had 40 goals in 50 games or something like that. Like there's not too many players that coming out of junior that score at that clip, like besides Ovechkin's and guys that good. Of course, he didn't play junior, but think of guys, the best scorers in the league, and you've got, that's what Svechnikov looks like he's going to be. They also said that it wasn't likely he'd play next year. I strongly disagree with that. Svechnikov will almost certainly play next year. As much as I understand where he was coming from by taking Zadina as second over Svechnikov, Svechnikov is way too good. Think Kucherov. Like that kind of player. He reminds me a lot of Kovalchuk when Kovalchuk was young. Zadina, on the other hand, is a fine player, but he's more of a Wheeler type guy. He's going to get you like maybe not even that much, 60 to 70 points, but he plays a really great overall game, and he's super intense, super competitive. Probably has Svechnikov in that area. I like him a lot, but I'm not taking him over a guy who can score 40 goals in the league because he played with Aho. Although I could see how they could consider it. Think of one thing though. One thing I'll give them though is Carolina doesn't spend to the cap, and a guy like when you take the Russians like Svechnikov, they have a lot more leverage than most because they can go to the KHL like that. That's why a lot of teams stray away from the Russians, and they end up falling down because they're hard on the cap. But a guy like Svechnikov, if he pans out like he's going to be, is going to be worth every penny anyway. So I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference. I think everybody else had Svechnikov second, and one of the fellows thought that Montreal was next, and they would take Boquist over Zadina because they need defense more. That is not out of the realm of possibility. Assuming that Montreal thinks that they want to build around defense over a forward, especially a winger, they're fairly equal in talent. And honestly, I would have a hard time choosing between the two. If I'm Montreal, I might take Boquist there. I might actually take Boquist there. Which would leave number 4, Zadina, going down to the number 4 spot. And you think I would have checked who is the number 4? Isn't that Phoenix? Isn't that Arizona? My gosh, Steve, why didn't you do a little more research here before you got started? Come on, go. Now my computer's running like super slow. Anyways, yeah, the next pick would be, it would be Ottawa actually, and I don't like Brady Tkachuk as much as everybody else does. I might see Ottawa taking Evan Bouchard here. But more than likely, the way they've drafted before, they're going to take Brady Tkachuk. And that would leave Arizona taking... I would think that Arizona will take Oliver Wahlstrom, or because he's about equal in talent to Bouchard, maybe. Then I would see Detroit taking Tkachuk for sure. And here we go, Quentin Hughes falling. Yes, in almost every draft you see Quentin Hughes falling. Chicago would almost definitely take Quentin Hughes here. New York Rangers almost definitely would take Dobson, which would leave the Oilers to probably trade the number 10, but we'll get to that some other time. That would be go Farabee or Valino probably. But to make some honorable mentions up here, you got a guy like Barrett Hayton, who had been just flying up the ranks. He wasn't even, it's somebody to really look at. He's a centerman. I could see him, they Central Scouting and everything has him running around the top 13, 14. I could see him jumping up, especially if a team really wants a centerman bad. He's just moved up that fast. But I thought I'd answer those guys because it was a really cool thing that they did. That's my full 42%, boys and girls. That's all I have to give. Give theirs a watch. Subscribe to my channel, My NHL Pearls of Wisdom, and I'll give you a My NHL Pearls of Wisdom necklace and a Vataheim's Bodies Lube signature, and with my signature and helicopter tube door. Have a great day. Lots of love to you.